progress.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for coming. Tonight is the Whittingham Homeowners Associating Joint Open Board Meeting, Thursday, July 25th, 2024. Would everyone please rise for a pledge of allegiance of the flag? Thank you. Susie, may I get a roll call of the Board of Trustees, please?
Okay, for WOA, Tom Clark,
Here?
Jay Ressler,
Yeah.
Bob Brown, Kathy Dodano, Karen Schoenberg, Surjit Sandhu, Joe Atanasio. For Greenbriar, Mark Sirks,
Here.
Jay Greenberg. Oh, I'm sorry, Alan. Jack Sandler, Chester Chubinski, Wayne Baruch.
Okay, and who's here on management, Susie?
Okay. Matt is on vacation this week. The Arts and Crafts Room HVAC is scheduled to be replaced on Friday, July 26th. Whittingham roofing specifications will be done by the end of July so we can quickly go out to bid. We met with two outside landscapers to look at enhancing the berm on Birmingham Lane. We have extended an offer to one of the open maintenance technician positions to Keith Ulrich, who should be starting on August 6th. And I started inspections yesterday.
Okay. Kristen, do you have a report on recreation?
Yes. Okay, so the GW Olympics start this Monday, July 29th. Thank you to everybody that signed up. It's supposed to be a fun week. Wednesday, July 31st, we have a movie in the ballroom at 7 p.m. The name of the movie is Living. On August 7th, Cousin's Maine Lobster food truck will be in the upper parking lot by the bocce court from 11:30 a.m. to 7 p.m. The August 7th bus trip to Atlantic City is waitlist only, but if you're interested in going, make sure you put your name on the wait list because last minute people do cancel out. Few tickets remain for our August 18th Beach Boys tribute show. So if you want to go, make sure you purchase your tickets as soon as possible. August 19th, there will be a health lecture in the ballroom at 1:30 p.m. on mobility and joint health. Please sign up with the concierge so we know how many people will be coming. And lastly, our bus trip to Parks Casino on September 4th is now on sale. That's it.
Okay, thank you. I want to take, let's go to item 6 and item 7, the resolutions of appreciation. I'd like to take both of them for the GW Friends and the GW Civic Club as a block. Do I have a motion on that? Moved by Jay, second by Bob. Okay, can I have a roll call, please?
Tom Clark,
Yes.
Jay Ressler, Bob Brown, Kathy Dodano, Karen Schoenberg, Surjit Sandhu, Joe Atanasio.
The members and representatives from the GW Club, please join me down at the podium. Okay, are we working? Yes, we are. Very good. Okay, we have everybody here. Very good. Oh, we have everyone here. Excellent. Okay. This is a resolution of appreciation to the GW Civic Club. Whereas the Board of Directors of Whittingham Homeowners Association, Wower, desires to adopt this resolution of appreciation to inspire and encourage all social clubs of our community. And whereas the GW Civic Club conducts public meetings on the second Wednesday evening of each month, March through December. In June and December, they host and support the GW Chorus and their semi-annual concerts. And whereas the GW Civic Club endeavors to inform Greenbriar and Whittingham residents via public meeting presentations about issues that are relevant to our quality of life in the GW community, Monroe Township, Middlesex County, and the state of New Jersey. The club utilizes dues monies to support local charities, conduct the holiday funds for the GW employees, and to provide 2 high school scholarships to 2 college-bound seniors. And whereas the GW Civic Club hosts Candidates Night, which featured Republican and Democrat candidates to present their positions. In addition, they have had presentations by the mayor, business administrator, EMS director, fire department, county sheriff, and various topics relevant to our residents' health concerns presented by the University of Medicine and Dentistry of New Jersey and Rutgers Cancer Institute. Now therefore be it resolved, the Lowell Board wants to express gratitude and publicly thank the GW Civic Club for hosting clubs and activities evening meetings to familiarize our residents with the many options available to them. The Lowell Board would like to formally recognize the GW Civic Club. I'm reading the wrong resolution, guys. Why didn't you correct me? All right. So I'm going to ask you guys to come up. I've already done it. All right. And I apologize for that. I'm coordinating with the GW Civic Club and Board of Directors. So Mr. Baum, is Mr. Baum up there? Okay. Okay, we have Ben Baum, President, Gary Phillip, Vice President, Larry Phillip, Secretary, Lori Phillip, Secretary, Richard Kitts, Treasurer, Rita Perlman, Program Chair, Louise Lewis, Membership Chair, Jay Respler, Publicity Chair, Gary and Lori Phillip, Refreshment Committee Chairs, Richard Kites, Lori Kitts, and Gary and Lori Phillip, John Kaiser, and Kathy Clarkson Gleason, Public Meeting Presentation Committee. Be it also resolved that this resolution of appreciation is spread across the minutes of the lower board of July 25th, 2024. Congratulations. Give you this one, I'll give you the rest. Go ahead. Please say a few words.
Tom has basically covered everything. I do want to emphasize that the motto of the Resident Civic Club is keeping residents informed. And I also want to take this opportunity to thank Kristen Pariza for the support she has provided to me and to all of our committees. Joan Hermely was also on the board.
Civic. I have everyone here for the friend. Okay. We have a resolution now for the appreciation of GW Friends. Whereas the Board of Directors of the Whittingham Homeowners Association desires to adopt a resolution of appreciation to aspire and encourage all social clubs of our community, and whereas GW Friends currently has over 420 members with monthly membership meetings from March through November, which include interesting educational speakers or entertainers. Whereas GW Friends offers broad variety of activities that meet through the month, including a book club, Socrates Cafe Club, a breakfast club, a pizza and billiards afternoon, a finance and investing club, a history club, and a current events club. And whereas GW Friends offers enjoyable dinner trips to local restaurants, the theater, museums, sporting events, and offers spring and fall golf outings and many other activities. Now, therefore, it be resolved, the Lowell Board wants to express gratitude and publicly thank GW Friends for offering their membership and appreciation night with top entertainers free to GW members. The Lowell Board would like to formally recognize the GW Friends trustees and club coordinators and the GW Friends Board of Directors. We have Ralph DeVito, President. We have Rich Klein, Vice President. Kathy Clarkson Gleason, Corresponding Secretary. Mark Lindell, Treasurer. Mark Search, Program Director. And Mark Gleason, Recording Secretary. Be it further resolved to have this resolution of appreciation spread across the minutes of the Lowell Board meeting of July 25th, 2024. Congratulations.
Okay, thanks, Tom. I think you just about covered everything, but I'm just going to review a couple of the items. Okay. My name is Ralph DeVito. I'm representing the GW Friends Club. On behalf of our board members, our trustees, and all the coordinators in our club, I want to thank the Lowell Board for their resolution of appreciation. And I really thank each one of you individually for giving us this honor. We have, I just want to correct Tom. The fact that I gave him the head, we had 420 members. We're up to 435 right now. Okay. Okay. And we encourage new residents and existing residents to join our club. We are a very active social club, and we have monthly meetings, just as Tom said in the resolution. We have monthly meetings with educational speakers and entertainers, and we have associate clubs that just fit every glove that's available. So once again, I want to thank the board for this resolution. And if you have any questions or would like to join our club, call me. I'm available. I'll give you all the information you need. Thank you very much.
All right, let's move on to item number 8, is the GWCA business. Mark, would you like to take that?
We want to, oh, you're right. We want to go ahead and approve the minutes of our last meeting. Could you, Kristen, give us a roll call vote for the approval of last meeting's minutes?
Sirks,
Yes.
Allen Greenberg, Jack Sandler, Chester Trubinsky, Wayne Baruch.
Okay. Chester is going to discuss new rules and regulations regarding patios, walls, and decks.
Last time we held the joint meeting, I mentioned that the site review committee was on a procedure to cover walls, patios, decks, walkways, etc. Basically, it was to capture a lot of information that was scattered about in older documents, as well as to codify information and decisions that the site review committee had made over the years. When we had to interpret a situation, we wanted to standardize that so it was consistent going forward. The procedure is now available. It will be put on to once it's approved, but it's now available and will be put on the Greenbriar Whittingham website. I do have a few copies here at the front table if someone is in the midst of doing one of those projects for their home. I just wanted to take a few moments, my notes, the procedure. Basically, the start procedures at site review is an application. The homeowner is expected those applications in the lobby of this building as well as from management. The application requires detailed information. If you do not submit the detailed information applicable to the individual project, the approval will not go through, and the application will come back to you for the information you did not submit. So it's in your best interest to try to get everything together before you make the submission. A building permit, some of us may not know this, but a building permit is required for new deck, but is not required for patios and patio walls. Needed for electric installations. The permit will not be issued Monroe Town Building Office. Back to it if it were. Yeah, I'm trying to look down and talk at the same time. That's the tricky part here. The township will not approve a building permit without the application that the site review committee has approved. So that's your first step, site review. Second step, Monroe Township in the case where a building permit is required. Site review does conduct follow-up inspections. You do the work, we stop by, make sure that you did the job as you mentioned in your application, and then you get your check back if the check was involved. Some other notes, deteriorating decking, and we've got a fair amount of deck replacement going on, does not require a building permit. But expansion of an existing deck, I haven't run across one of those yet, but in case it happens, would require a building permit. Is basically new framing, new footings, etc. Existing decks, patios, walls are grandfathered as to size. This came up the last time we met, and basically some patios are oversized. That's what the builder did years and years ago. Should you decide to remove that slab of concrete or patio, whatever it's made of, and replace it, you must comply with the new size limitations. The size limitations are a function of your lot size. It's not the size you'd like to have. It's not the size your neighbor has. It's basically your lot size determines how many square feet of patio or deck you can construct. If you have a deck and you decide you want to add a patio, all well and good. but is cumulative, so that if you're allowed 250 square feet and you've got 190 square feet of deck, you have 60 square feet of patio. Don't go over that number. Uh, Basically, patios may have a 2-foot sitting wall. This is something that's relatively new. When the patios were first put in, they were just flat surfaces. They've now come along and people want sitting walls, they want corner columns, and maybe they want lighting on the corner columns. And we're agreeable to that. We have a standard now that says sitting walls 2 feet, corner columns 3 feet. And this is pretty much consistent with communities around us. That's where we captured some of that. When you're doing construction, just keep in mind drainage. There are swales that we don't want to block or cause unnecessary erosion. There is, in flat areas, we have a lot of catch basins. We don't want to be too close to those or damage them. Concrete walkways, it's also covered under the policy, may not be stained or painted. It's concrete, leave it as it is. Keep in mind that the rise and run of steps integral to a walkway replacement is critical and must comply with the building code. More than likely, you'll have a contractor do this work, and they will be knowledgeable in the rise and run. We don't want to create tripping hazards here. Walkways, when they come out and meet the driveway, should be at the same level as the driveway. Again, we don't want to create a tripping hazard, and we do not want to impair snow removal. And then lastly, living fences are permitted around patios and decks. Quite a few people have a ring of arborvitaes for privacy. Open fences are also permitted around a patio or a deck. When I say open, it means that someone standing outside of your property can look through the fence and see what's going on the deck. As I said, this document will be posted on the website, and a few copies are available here. Thank you.
Okay, so we're going to vote on the resolution for what Chester just described. I just want to repeat one thing he said at the end, because it is a lot to take in. We don't expect anybody was taking notes, but this policy will exist up on the website. He'll share it with management so that they put it up on the website. Will it be part of the green applications as well, or? Okay, so it'll just stand alone on the website. Okay, so we're going to vote on this policy change. I make a motion, the Greenbriar Board adopt the new document prepared by the SRC titled Patios, Walkways, Walls, Fences, and Deck Construction Policies. Kristen?
Okay.
Oh.
Mark Sturks,
Yes.
Alan Greenberg, Jack Sandler, Chester Chubinski, Wayne Baruch.
There are copies. Yeah, if you anticipate you'll be needing this information promptly, we have some copies here. I don't think it's up on the web yet. Okay, we have copies.
All right, let's move on to item number 9, the WOA business. First item is the approval of the June 17, 2024 WOA open meeting minutes. Do I have a motion on that? Moved by Jay, second by Joe. Can I have a roll call on that, please?
Tom Clark,
Yes.
Jay Ressler, Bob Brown, Kathy Dodano, Karen Schoenberg, Surjit Sandhu, Joe Atanasio.
Okay, next item is approval of the June 27, 2024 joint open meeting minutes. Do I have a motion? All make, let's see, Sergio move it, and J- Sergio moved it, Jay has seconded. Do I have a roll call?
Clark,
Yes.
Jay Wrestler, Bob Brown, Kathy Dodano, Karen Schoenberg, Surjit Sandhu, Joe Atanasio.
Yeah. All right, next item is the emergency well repair. Oh, I'm sorry. Well, we voted
We
separately.
voted on it already.
Yeah, we voted on it already.
Yeah, you voted.
We don't attend that other one. Right. Yeah, we voted on it. You want to vote again? Let's vote again.
All right, next item is the emergency well repair town center from Pickwick Well Drilling for $11,910.01. Just so everyone knows, this is going into the town center pump well that's here that supplies the grounds here with water. As you know, that thing died a few weeks ago, and we had to do an emergency repair on it. So this is the vendor who did it, and this is for the amount. Um, does anyone on the public have anything to say on this? Any comment? I just did. Okay, all right. Seeing no comment, I'll make a motion on this. Kathy will move it. Okay, who'll second it? All right. Sir G, he had his hands up. All right, thank you. Can I have a roll call, please?
Clark,
Yes.
Jay Wrestler, Bob Brown, Kathy Dodano, Karen Schoenberg, Surjit Sandhu, Joe Atanasio.
All right, next item is the Arts and Craft Room HVAC replacement, uh, awarding a contract for the replacement to Cranberry Comfort for $7,432.66. As many of you probably know, that the air conditioner, basically what we call the tap room and the card room all the way on the extreme end of the other building, um, died of old age. So we had to suddenly find companies to give us a replacement. We were successful in getting a number of companies in. We saved about $3,000 by doing a little shopping. And they're hopefully going to get it in as soon as they get the material and they get the men on site. So this is for awarding of that. Any comment from the public? Seeing no one speaking, take a motion. Moved by Jay, second by Joe. Can I have a roll call, please?
Clark,
Yes.
Jay Wrestler,
Yes.
Bob Brown, Kathy Dodano, Karen Schoenberg, Surjit Sandhu, Joe Atanasio.
All right, next item we have here is parking rules. We are not quite ready to take any action on this. So we're going to make a motion to table this to the next meeting so that there could be more discussion on this. And of course, once we come out with the final, we'll share it with everyone. Do I have a motion to table this item? Moved by Bob, second by Sir G. Okay, this is for tabling to the next meeting. Okay. All right, can I have a roll call, please?
Clark,
Yes.
Jay Wrestler, Bob Brown, Kathy Dodano, Karen Schoenberg, Surjit Sandhu, Joe Atanasio.
Next item is the club use of grill. I'm gonna look to, is this an issue you raised, Jay, or is this management's issue? Management. All right, yeah, I'm at a loss here because I can't see everyone with the tables. Okay. Susie, do you have any comment on this?
I do, Kristen. I know
Oh, it's Kristen?
Jay
Okay.
was in contact with, I don't know who wanted to use the grill. We have just located the grill today. We do have a grill. I do not know if it's propane or if it's charcoal, but I think, I don't know if the board discussed if clubs can use the grill.
All right, well, tonight's a good night to put a question out to the audience because we have a lot of club members here tonight. If your particular club was going to have a barbecue in the picnic area, would you be in favor of having a grill there so that if you wanted to do something there, you could do it on it? Yes? Hands up, yes, no? I- Okay. All right. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
The issue with the grill is we don't know if it's propane or gas. We'll have to determine that. I walked around with Kristen the other day. Once we determine that factor, it's my opinion that if a club wants to use the grill in the picnic area, there should be a deposit made so that, a refundable deposit actually, so that after the party is over, if it's a charcoal grill, those embers are disposed of properly. Okay, so if that's the case, I'm fine with that, but we need to determine what kind of grill it is before we can move on this. Thank you.
Okay.
All right, I would like to say that we need to check with our insurance company whether or not we are insured. We are not the township. If you're talking about the grills out in the park, that the township is self-insured and they don't have to worry about it. But if we're going to have a club and they may bring children, I'm very concerned that they will not use a grill properly. So the first thing we have to do is check to see if we're even insured for it. And the second thing we have to do is for the board, I believe, to have a real good discussion over whether or not it's a right thing to do to expose people to use a grill and possibly get hurt.
Okay. So, since this is still a work in progress, why don't we table this for our next meeting? And then we can get some more information from management on the grill that's selected and what's being proposed. All right, so I have a motion to table this to the next meeting. Moved by Joe, second by Karen, thank you. Okay, I can have a roll call, please. Yes.
Jay Ressler? Um, Van Du? Joe Attanasio?
Okay, committee reports, I'm going to turn it back over to Greenbriar.
But yeah, Jack, you want to talk about?
Okay, so Greenbriar Budget and Finance Committee will be having its first meeting on August 1st. At that time, we will begin our discussions of what kinds of funds or issues that might be coming up during the coming year. We do have a smaller paving project coming up, and that's for 2 streets. That's Ramsey and Chandler. But the August 1st is sort of like the beginning of, we call it budget season, and we discuss what will be needed, how it'll affect our overall budget. Do we have to add some monies into our reserves for it? So it'll just be the very first meeting of about 3 or 4 meetings until we finalize it somewhere at the end of November, middle of December. Thank you.
Incidentally, Stan Gross, who chairs that committee, uh, I've been in touch with him fairly regularly, as has Kathy, who sits on both the WOA Committee for Budget and the Greenbriar Committee for Budget. So there are things going on in that regard. They're just not anything resulting in next year's budget preparation. It's just a little too premature, but we're looking at numbers all the time. Wayne, anything happening in Covenants?
No recent covenants meetings.
Would somebody please break some rules so we can have some covenants? Somebody speed or park in the wrong place or something? We need covenants. There's no money. Yeah, yeah, site review is always overflowing with people. Go ahead.
Hey, site review. July was a very busy month for a site review. 32 applications were received and reviewed. There were 28 site inspections to follow up on the applications. That's it.
Okay, Alan, newcomers, I know you just had a newcomers.
We just had a great newcomers meeting. So 2 nights ago,
We had 22 new homeowners to the community. Some were singles, some were couples. Yeah, it was a wonderful event. I see Joan Hermley sitting out there, so I want to thank you as our wonderful chair. And if there's others from the committee, if you're out there, I apologize, I just don't see you, but thank you for all the hard work in making this committee work. We do this typically about once a quarter. We'll probably do another one late fall, I suspect, whenever we have enough people. But for those who aren't aware, or it's maybe been a while since you're a newcomer, basically what the event is a little bit social and a little bit informative as to what goes on within the community. And it was 22 new groupings of homeowners. Quite frankly, it was probably one of the best ones we've had. It was a really fun group and a wonderful evening. Yes, and people from the entire community as well, not just Greenbriar. Thank you.
Alan and Joan do an awesome job with that newcomers. And Linda, if you're watching at home, you do a good job on newcomers too. My wife is on newcomers and I don't want to go home to a problem. Alan, you want to take 35, 40 seconds to talk about your wine club? No. Yeah, it's up to you.
All right, so thanks, Mark. So last month I had mentioned I had formed a new club. It's the Greenbriar Wine Club. Since I think I was here last time, we set a date for our first event. It will be Friday night, August 23rd. It will be a wine dinner. Unfortunately, we'll be limited to how many people we can have in attendance because we need to use the poker room. So it was 48 people, probably about halfway there, and we really haven't even started to promote the event. It will be 4 wines and food that will pair with those wines. We're still working on the menu and the cost. But if it's something you're interested in, having a fun evening where you learn a little bit about the wine, where they're from, the region, the history, so on and so on, it's a fun evening. So hopefully you'll come out and join us 4 to maybe 6 times per year.
All right, let's move on to WOA. Kathy, you have anything on the budget and finance?
Hello, everyone. Budget and Finance Committee will be meeting, the WOA Budget and Finance Committee will be meeting on the same day, Thursday, August 1st. This will be our second meeting. We expect to cover and talk about our second quarter financials. I've spoken with Sam Schneider, who is our first service controller. He expects to have those numbers by Monday of next week. I will put these charts together for the Budget and Finance Committee. And we will meet together and discuss them. And start to prepare for the budget. And as Jack said, same on our side, we expect to have another 3 to 4 meetings before the end of the year so that we can put our budget in place. In addition to that, I spoke with Sam about uploading it onto the portal, and he assures me that that information will be uploaded by the end of this month. So I'm very hopeful. We will get further instruction as to where exactly on the portal we need to go to view them, but he did indicate that it should be intuitive. Nothing is ever intuitive with a computer, but hopefully we'll be able to at least give some instruction and allow everyone to go and view them if you like. And that's all I have on that.
Thank you. Next report, covenants.
Covenants, there are no new issues. I just want to touch base during the last meeting. I think there was a slight confusion, especially on my part, and I do want to apologize. Covenants has full authority to make a decision. And in my opinion, they made a very wise decision, and I do want to apologize again. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Entertainment Committee, Joe or Bob? I'm sorry. Okay, Bob.
We have two new members on our committee. The first one is Gary Phillip, and the second is Louise Lewis. We welcome you to the committee, and hopefully everything will be great. Thank you.
All right. Let's move on to the landscape committee.
Okay, on landscape, although Bob is actually the liaison, he was unable to attend. I attended this meeting. I just wanted to let everyone know that we looked into a program that is offered by Mercer College. They have a horticultural program, and they have students that visit locations and basically put together a design, a plan, an idea, anything new, any thoughts about what we can do to pretty up the sort of the sites and the grounds. And so we are looking into that program. We are hopeful that we can get a student, perhaps, maybe a short period of time, hopefully inexpensive, to just come in and put together some design, some ideas to throw around and see if perhaps, if they're not very expensive, if we can kind of think about doing things a little bit differently, maybe. So we're looking into that program. Other than that, landscape, there were no other major issues. We did take down the spruce, I think it was a blue spruce that was blocking the sign. That is done. I've actually heard very good comments that not only can I see the sign and it is clear and visible to me, but it doesn't look bad. It looks really nice and kind of makes the area look bigger. So hopefully everyone feels the same way. Nothing else on landscape.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Karen, you have something?
Yes. The Whittingham Site Review Committee met again. We had 10 applications that we reviewed. 9 were approved. 1 was sent back for more information to the resident who was submitting for the work to be done. There were 7 inspections done. They all passed. We authorized for them to get their money back, and that was what we did there. I just want to remind everybody that if, especially in Whittingham, if you want to do any outside modification of your home, you have to submit an application to the Site Review Committee. And after you submit it, or even before you submit it, if you have any question, please refer to Susie in management because she can give you all the answers. Thank you.
Okay, moving on to the next, to the town center report. Maureen, I see you in the back of the room. Can you come up to the microphone and give a report?
Good evening. The town center meeting was held on Thursday, July 11th. Some of the items discussed were now can I read my writing? The final removal of the bingo machine. It is now gone from the stage. Also, prices for the replacement of the stage curtains have been out for bid and sent to the property manager, Susie Weingartner. Some items from this meeting and previous meetings were discussed at the WOA workshop meeting last week. The request for lucite notice racks, the new mats. There are 3 7 by 3 feet mats in the ladies' locker room, and the need for additional smaller mats for the shower area, as well as for the men's locker room, were also requested. The outdoor pool chairs previously stacked have been unstacked for more accessible use, had been requested by the community. Also mentioned was the use of one of the 5-color copy machines that we currently lease for clubs within the community that have printing requests. I think now they are paying for the printing, It might be then a flat fee for a certain number of pages or by the page. The board will look into this. We just discussed the air conditioning in the art room, and that will be soon cool again. The purchase of canvas paintings in the all-purpose room was discussed, and members of the board thought that the resident artwork, as is successfully used in the hallway, be extended into that room. The doors from the pool area across from the indoor pool bathrooms are still locked during the day. There is no code reader on them, and it has been requested that at past meetings that the doors be opened during the day or a code reader installed. Finally, it was requested that residents who have been complaining about problems, whether it be about rust spots on pickleball garbage pails or similar complaints, refrain from posting on Nextdoor and instead made management aware. We don't need unnecessary negative complaints aired. There also has been interest in several people in companies in the restaurant. And the board had mentioned at the meeting last week that they will begin interviewing those interested. Thank you.
Thank you, Maureen. That's a great report. I do want to update everyone that the restaurant committee did get together earlier this week, and we have begun interviewing interested operators. There seems to be a lot of interest in our clubhouse, so we're looking forward to as these negotiations go on and with the outcome. But it looks very good. There's a lot of interest, and we're very happy with that.
Jack has something there that was left off the.
This is not related to budget and finance, but at the same time, within the next week or two, a notice of the upcoming annual election that will be taking place at the end of September will go out. And this will be both for the Greenbriar and the Weller Board. Right. And so just be aware that there will be notices. They may be electronic, they may be mailed. Just advising you that the first candidates night for both Greenbriar and the Weller Boards will be held somewhere around, I don't have the exact date yet, around the end of August, beginning of September. People can submit their nominations, self-nominate themselves. Just be aware that it's a big responsibility to be on the board. You do have to make loads of decisions and be around to understand what those decisions create, situations that they create. We hope that there will be more people that will step up to the plate. As Mark, I'm going to quote Mark on something he has said in the past. We've never seen a stampede of people running for the board. And so we would appreciate any people who think that they can contribute in a positive direction towards ideas that will go forward to help our community stay viable over the next 20, 30, 40, 50 years. We want to make sure that we get people who have sensible, positive ideas. And we hope that people will try to step up a little bit and do that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Jack. I was gonna get into that in a little bit, but I'm glad you brought it up. Just so everyone aware, there are 4 seats up this year. There's 2 Greenbriar seats and 2 Whittingham seats. So depending on where you live and if you have an interest, the information, as Jack said, will be going out. You need to fill out an application and file your papers, and claim yourself as an interested party and looking for run for office. So if anyone is interested, please feel free to do so.
The Greenbriar Board will have 2 seats available.
Yeah. Okay, the only other thing I wanted to get turn it over to Joe about an update on McDonald's.
Hey, everybody. October 2022, people in the 200-yard area of this shopping center received a notice about putting up a McDonald's in there. It's been 21 months, people. Okay? And they had 6 meetings of the zoning board, including one in Greenbriar, right here. From the first meeting, they got slammed. We don't want this. And we kept on fighting and fighting and fighting. And the one in here, they walked out with their tails between their legs. Okay? The meeting was supposed to be on July 30th, next week. It's not on the agenda. Why? Because the applicant sent a letter to the township requesting that the application be put on hold. That doesn't mean it's good news. It's good news, but it's not great news. It doesn't mean we won yet. What it means is that the applicant felt that they came in incorrectly from the beginning. They kept on postponing it, and postponing it. And because of you, people across the street in Concordia, Encore, the Ponds, and Rossmore, 175 people last time it was reviewed, walked in that place, they got scared. The zoning board of Monroe Township has been looking at this with a wary eye from the beginning. I don't believe in my heart that they want this. Okay? It's because of you folks that this was we put on hold. Now the applicant has to start from the beginning, look at the site, try to figure out how they're going to go around the variances, basically asking permission to sidestep the rules because the ordinance clearly states no fast food in that area. Okay? So once they decide to put the application in, we will all, in a reasonable proximity, 250 yards from that site, will receive letters. I'm going to be on it. Don't worry about it. I got you covered if you're not within that area. So we can go down there again and do the same thing we did last time. Okay? The only other thing I could say about this, my contacts are telling me that there's a possibility that they might be looking at another site. Okay, so sit tight. I'll keep you posted. God bless you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Joe. Let's move on to the financial update. Kathy, you have anything to add to the financial update, or have you covered this?
The only thing I want to add is that audits are still continuing. We've had no major questions. We've had some. We've responded to everything. We've provided all documentation that we had available to us. We've gotten no further questions. The audits continue, and we are still on target for, hopefully, they will be done and completed, and we will be up to date by September.
Okay, thank you. All right, that brings us to the famous open forum. Anyone who would like to speak, please come up to the microphone, give your name and address, and hopefully the mic is turned on for you. Yeah,
It was on.
It's on, it's on. We're good.
And Ruth Marcus, 20 Trent. Hi. I have lived in the community for 24 years. Whenever I've had any dealings with anyone in the town center, they've always been very pleasant. Today was a different story. If you remember last time I spoke about the barcode for the permanent visitor, all right, well, today I went upstairs yesterday, I'm sorry, to check on it. And I was trying to give a preface of making it understood that I know that there was the knowledge of what the procedure was was not available to the people in the office, in the main office. This person who said she's worked here 3 years would not let me finish a sentence. As I was trying to explain the situation, she just kept interrupting, telling me I was being rude, telling me I was criticizing the people, etc. And this went on, back and forth. And then she, you all know Tom at the security, a sweet man, great person, and she basically called him a liar. So I told her I was going to go to the security and tell him so. So I did go to security, did speak with him, and lo and behold, he showed me an envelope with my address on it, with apparently the barcode that my daughter can use when she comes tomorrow. However, nobody informed me that the application was approved and that the barcode was available. So how was I supposed to know that it was in the security office? There's got to be a little bit better communication going on. And I think this young lady, she's not a lady, this person, it should really be, I've heard that I just found out that she's been rude before, and I have a feeling that this is not the right place for her. She just doesn't know how to deal with people. Thank you. Oh, I have one other question. With the new management and such, is the Master Key program still in effect? Okay. Thank you.
Well, thank you. And please speak with the management if you have any concerns in regards to any of these issues. All right, next, thank you.
Cliff Erlacher, 7 Brighton Court. Many of you may know that I'm president of the pickleball club, so I have some particular concerns. I have not heard anything from the board about a reserve study and an engineer coming through. I'd like to maybe be on site when he comes through and looks at the pickleball court.
Yeah, we have we've just retained an engineering firm to do that. I think they're anticipating beginning in the next couple of weeks. So once we have a firm date to be on the property, we'll let you know.
Well, that would be good
Is it
because
mid-August? Yeah, a couple of weeks, yeah.
I think one more cold winter, and I'm not quite sure how the court is going to hold up. We've been patching it for many years, and I don't know if patching is going to be the answer. So I'd like to see what an engineer has to say about that. The other thing is the condition of the 2 gazebos, the one in the front by the tennis courts and the one in the back. They definitely could use a power washing and probably a coat of paint. They're full of cobwebs and insect nests and pretty unsightly. So can we take a look at that? Thanks so much.
Please.
Hi, I'm Felicia Manganello, and I live at 21 Chandler Court. And I wanted to make you aware of a service that I've been using that I've been very happy with. It's called Garden State Bins, and they actually will come and clean and sanitize your garbage bins. I've had a couple of times where I forgot that I left garbage in there and I was away for a few days. My garage did not smell great. So he's willing to give discounts. If you just want a one-time clean out, he'll do it for like $30 for the 2 bins. It's usually $75, but he's willing to do a discount for the development if there are enough people interested. So
just by a show of hands, who would be interested? They have monthly, they have quarterly, they have bi-monthly, and they have, twice a year. So I'm
If
going to
it-
leave the information in the back, and if
Yeah.
you would like.
Please, could you give them information over
That's
to
a
the
great,
managers
great
over
idea,
over there?
Felicia.
Yes.
Yeah,
Great
we
idea.
appreciate it. Just
Sure.
sitting, yeah, thank you.
Okay, thanks.
Because we can't just like jump into the pail and clean it because we'll fall in.
Okay. Thank you.
Good evening. My name's Norm Levine. I just moved in with my wife Barbara to 4 Kingston Court in September. I had every opportunity to move into every other community in this area, but when we drove down that Whittingham Drive, we fell in love with the place. We fell in love with our house, and we fell in love with our neighbors. We fell in love with this building. What I didn't fall in love with, and I didn't know my friend Cliff was going to speak about it, is the pickleball courts. I'm the one who posted those pictures. I'm going to continue to post pictures on that. It's not on Neighbor. It's on the Whittingham Facebook page, and I will continue to do it because we just finished a season where we competed against every other community in Monroe Township. It was embarrassment to have other communities come here and see the conditions of our courts. They're unsafe, they're disgusting, they're dangerous. We played Regency, Stonebridge, Encore venue. They all came here with their guests to watch us play. We had a successful season. The playoffs ended last week. But when we had to hear what they were talking about, our community, the way those courts are and how disgusting they are, there's mold, there's dirt. All it would take is a little power washing. I posted those pictures. I wish I could project them tonight for all of you to see. I don't know if you've ever walked down there, but it's really embarrassing. And to have those other communities, which I could have moved into, as all of us could have, I didn't. I chose to move here. I play pickleball across the street at Concordia because the courts are much nicer. I'm invited to Cranberry Crossing. I have friends in other communities say, play there. I go there because our courts are not safe. Every time I ask somebody what's being done, they don't know. They said they're waiting for an engineer report that seems to be never coming.
Who are you asking?
I'm asking everyone, there's 160 members in our pickle. We had a meeting last night and everyone's asking the same thing. We couldn't use 2 courts. We had 4 courts for the matches. We couldn't use 2 because they're not safe. There's dead spots, there's weeds. There's one court, Court 5, that if you're not going to use it for pickleball, turn it into a kid's playground, turn it into a garden, but don't leave it like that because it's going to affect the value of our homes because prospective buyers are going to see that and they're going to walk away.
Did you post it? Did you talk to management first?
I didn't talk to anybody.
Hold on, hold on.
I'm sorry.
Did you talk to management first
No.
before you put it on social media?
No, I didn't.
Okay, maybe you should have done that.
I'm just curious, has anybody here seen those courts? Anybody on the board? Have you ever walked by and seen those courts?
Go, Karen.
Let me respond to this. I am a pickleball player. I am mortified at the way the courts look. That honestly, and people may not like this statement, but that is one of my first priorities. Let me just explain something because you're new to the community. We just came on the board last October. We have been trying to deal with all the issues. It is an aging community, and unfortunately, we're in probably the 30th year where everything kind of needs to be done at the same time. And I'm just going to kind of put it in some perspective. The last boards, however many there were in the last 30 to 40 years, wanted to keep our residents and homeowners comfortable by not raising maintenance fees for the most part. And what ended up happening, as always would, is all these things kind of got delayed and delayed and pushed back and pushed back. So we're now in a position where we have a lot to do with very little put aside for it. So we are desperately seeking, as we said a little bit earlier, a capital reserve study done by a professional engineer. We actually hired probably one of the best in the industry. In fact, the individual who was writing the laws And we are hopeful that they will start within 2 weeks. Hopefully, they'll be on time and start the process of inspecting the entire community to tell us what is the most urgent, what has to be done first. So before we go and spend foolishly, I don't want to do that. I think our past administrations had done that. They spent on what they thought was important without really considering the capital reserve study. So we need to know what is critical, what's going to, hopefully never, but what's going to fall down or cause major, major problems. And then we can address them one by one in the order that they need to be addressed. That's the only reason at this point that the pickleball courts are not yet done. We know that they are in very bad shape, but we don't want to foolishly go out there, spend to fix them, and then realize, oh my God, something else is going to fall apart. So we just want to be sure.
You use the word foolishly. I take offense by that. Pickleball attracts so many people. Foolishly repairing something that someone's going to get hurt playing is not foolishly. It's a priority. And unless it's a priority here, it doesn't work for everybody. I'm sorry. Why does Concordia have state-of-the-art courts when they're an older community than us? They put in beautiful courts there.
I can tell you why.
Every single community. I've played at them all. I'm a pickleball instructor. I work at a pickleball facility indoors. That's how I'm spending my retirement. These courts are an embarrassment. And to have all our friends play here in a league. It's a community league against all these. They come here.
Okay.
I
I will say that other communities have had assessments over the years, which allowed them to do what was necessary, things like this. And again, our prior administrations did not want to do these assessments, so these things got pushed back and pushed back and pushed back. And that's the reason that the pickleball courts are in the condition they are in. But that is on the top of our list, particularly me. I play the game.
I appreciate whatever you can do. I'm turning a deaf ear because I don't see it happening, because it's not going to be priority when 160 members of a pickleball club in a community with 1,600 families.
No,
sir. That's low priority.
Sir, no one said it wasn't a priority. I think what Kathy is saying is she's the treasurer. She has a good handle on where the money is and what we're able to do with the money we have.
Right.
And for instance, in the last month, we had nearly $50,000 or $60,000 of unexpected repairs between wells and air conditioners. That came out of nowhere. We never expected to have to spend that money on that this year. So this is what she's trying to say to you. We're trying to be prudent with the money. We're trying to do the right thing. We understand they need to be done. She knows it. She's a pickleball player, and we're going to address the problem. There's no doubt about it.
I'm going to be honest with you. I don't have much faith in it, and I don't hold my hopes up too high. But I'm going to look forward to playing with all my friends wherever they want to play. That's fine. But going back to the grill for a minute, we have August 24th. The pickleball. We're having a picnic barbecue here, and we'd like to be able to use that grill. I don't know how soon it is that you're going to be able to get a word whether or not we can use it, but we're having everyone's invited to the Greenbriar. It's open for everybody. Pickleball tournament, picnic, and barbecue, and we were hoping to be able to use a grill. So if we can get an answer prior to August 24th, we'd much appreciate it, because this way we know whether or not we can cook at that.
You'll
event.
get an answer.
Thank you.
I was just going to
Okay,
say, I hope we can prove to you that we are definitely considering these things. And
You never could be sorry moving to Greenbriar. We have no problem selling our homes. This is the best place in Monroe. It really is. But we have no restaurants.
As I just said, we met just 3 days ago. We began the process. And we've got more than one person who wants to come in here. So it's gonna take a little time.
And the summer is fleeting.
It's unfortunate the timing, the way it worked out. Unfortunately, the current operator kind of misled the board, so we were left high and dry.
Okay, is there going to be a cleanup in that room? Are we picking up the carpet or not?
There's gonna be improvements to that room. How it's gonna be done,
Okay.
it's gonna be determined who the operator is gonna be.
Oh, that doesn't sound good. Okay, so can we look to August? Can we look to August?
Listen, I gotta be realistic. We may not be done interviewing till the beginning of August here,
Oh, that's, okay,
all right?
thanks. Maybe you could use
Is-
some interviewers.
No,
We
they would-
are everything. This is becoming a full-time job for us. I mean, literally.
Do it.
I mean, we're putting 34 hours a week in for this restaurant.
That's what it is.
So
Okay,
we're trying to get it done. I mean, listen, I wish it had already been done, but unfortunately, it didn't work out that way.
okay, thank you.
And also, I just want to add to that, it's not only the interviewing, it's also when are they available to come in and speak with us? So we're waiting on them also to give us their availability. And then after that is done and we can make a decision, we still have a contract that has to be drawn up, then sent to their attorney, sent back to our attorney. We've realized, yeah, it's going to take a little time, but we are working on it and we are very hopeful because we have a lot of good interest.
Yeah, I just want to second that. We interviewed two people. They were very, very interested. You know, looks very positive, and we have many more to go.
I don't know. You've got them now. I mean, I can tell you, they're there now. They're looking to come in.
They're calling us.
Yeah. Okay, all right. Seeing no other, sir, are you going to speak? Okay. Name and address for the record.
My name is Louis Marshall Gilbert. I live at 37 Leeds Lane. Now, I use the facilities in the clubhouse, particularly the library and the gym. And this issue with the lights going off when it doesn't appear to be any movement. I mean, if you sit in the library and you're reading, there's not going to be any movement, then the library goes dark. And it's not only the library and the gym. I understand it's restrooms. I overheard that last week a woman was using the ladies' room, and while she was seated, the room went dark. I mean, this seems like a unusually frugal measure. You know, just lights to turn them on. How much could possibly be saved doing that? Oh.
Tell you, I think that system is fantastic. It ensures that when the rooms are empty and nobody is going to be in the room to benefit from the lights being on and our electric bill turning and turning, it ensures that there's nothing wasted. We've all experienced, all of us on the board have experienced where you're in a room and it goes dark. And what we do is we put up our hands and let the system know. Sometimes the system's a little jumpy. You turn it on and 2 minutes later it turns off again and we put up our hands again. Honestly, it's a problem. It's not a big problem. It is a problem, but it is way preferable to burning our electric bill 24/7, which is what's going to happen if we wouldn't do it. So
It doesn't have to be 24/7. The clubhouse closes at a certain time, maybe
Yeah.
9 o'clock.
But
Then
who's
they-
going to
then
walk
they s-
around and see
then
if
they
all the
switch-
lights are off?
They can
and-
switch off the
You
lights
know what?
at that point.
It's been really working well for.
It looks frugal for a
I have to say,
community like this.
it's really been working well. that system. I really like it. I appreciate that the lights go out automatically, and not one other person has ever complained about it. Never.
Nobody's
Regarding what the bathroom, it's not always the most desirable thing.
Yeah, I didn't know about
Because
that.
people can be sitting in a cubicle, and then after a while, the light does go out, and people cannot see their way out. If they don't have their cell phone with them to put on their flashlight, it's a difficult issue. So I think in a situation like that actually occurred in my
Yeah.
family.
Maybe we should
Not
take the
me.
bathrooms
So
off
the
that system.
bathrooms might be something you might
Yeah.
want to reconsider.
I didn't realize, I've never had the experience in the
It
bathroom.
happened in my family. You
I
you
try
have
to,
to be
I try
careful.
to get in and out quickly when I go in there.
All right, well, thank you for bringing that to our attention. We'll ask the management to take a further look at it. Sir, are you looking to speak?
My name is Bill Baldazone, 7 Gormley Lane. And as I was driving home, I was listening to the Zoom meeting, and the pickleball was brought up. And you know what? That's a very, very important aspect of our community and most communities, that are being developed. One of the things that was mentioned, and I don't know, I think it was by Mr. Dano, the budget and things like that. What is the annual budget of Greenbriar Whittingham? Do we know offhand approximately?
I won't talk for Greenbriar, but on the WOA side, we have two budgets. We have one for Whittingham Condo Association. The WOA budget is approximately 4 million
Okay.
per year. That's just operating. And then we have capital accounts.
Okay. I was president of an HOA for a number of years. Before that, I was treasurer. Before that, I was vice president. And when we did budgets every year, we made arrangements for things that we don't plan on going wrong, but do go wrong. So a pump and an air conditioning unit, I mean, the amounts that we're talking here are really small amounts in terms of our whole budget. So also, we had a discretionary fund that the president could use where we didn't even have to vote on things that were under a certain amount,
Well,
a percentage
sir,
of budget.
we do have that. That's how we were able to pay for these improvements.
Okay, but the improvements, in my opinion, took longer than need be because, when something breaks, you got to fix it. Because otherwise, it's just a domino effect.
Well,
And I
they do get
understand
fixed.
that.
They do get fixed.
I understand that. And, again, one of the things that was mentioned is that, yes, this community's been woefully neglected for a number of years. Prior boards put Band-Aids over gaping wounds. And that can no longer be the case. Moving forward, we have to do things the right way. We have to repair them the right way because cheap is expensive.
We agree with you. There's no argument there.
Okay, but again, the point is that by putting things, tabling things to the next meeting and the next meeting and the next meeting, that's what prior boards did. That's the reason Surfside collapsed. Because things were put from one to another, and nobody wanted to address the money issue. And basically, it is really a money issue, and we have to realize that, and we have to be ready to address that and build these things into the budget. Also, we have a reserve, do we not? We have money in the reserve. We have money in our snow removal reserve.
Of course.
That should be a significant amount of money because the past, the 4 years that I've been here, there hasn't been significant snow removal.
Well, we had $180,000 in snow removal this year. The
Okay.
beginning of this year.
Is there not
So-
over $1 million in that?
No, there is not anywhere near $1 million. We're at approximately, I don't have the number in front of me. I'm going on memory. Please forgive me. It is starting to fail as I get older. There's about 400,000 left in the snow fund.
Okay. Which is an important fund. But, one of the things, and this is the point I came by to stress, is that when looking at the budget, when planning the budget, we took a lot of things into account. You know what? You don't count on things failing, but they do fail. And the capital, the capital improvement, the reserve study, very important because then you know what the roof is on this building, when it needs to be replaced, when stuff has to be repaved, and then we can.
We're currently
accurately-
doing. Yeah.
And again, I had priors with the prior board.
Right.
And I like you guys.
We
I really
hired
do.
we hired a new engineer, and that's going to be underway in the next couple of weeks. One thing you got to remember, the way we came in, we changed to a professional management system here. We changed a lot of things here, and that takes a little bit of time. That took priority. So we're getting up to where you are now, because now we know where all the money is and what we can do.
Very good. Keep up the good
I,
work.
I would just like to add that the state of New Jersey is going, by law now, is going to make sure that we have enough money in our reserves after this study is done, that they are satisfied that they're not going to have a problem like they did in Florida. Florida now also has the law. There are communities in Florida that are assessing their homes $100,000 an apartment. Okay, but the law is the law. So I'm telling you that you don't have to worry, because they will be looking over our backs to make sure that all the reserve money we are will need next year, 5 years, 10 years, is going to be there.
Well, you know what? It's about time.
Yes, it is.
It's about time, because I was president of HOA in Florida.
Well,
and
that's,
there's laws to protect, the citizens in Florida. Another thing now that that's brought up is, I believe that this non-voting voting is something that, while legal in New Jersey, I think our community should seriously consider that by not casting a vote, you're casting a yes vote. I had a big problem with that when the prior board tried to change a bunch of documents by putting a front page on something and saying, oh, this is what you're voting for, but buried in there was, what the necessary requirements for a quorum were. And that was buried. And then there was an email that went out behind that saying, oh, you don't have to do anything. And that was very misleading. And I hope this board takes that into account, that, you know what, we're a bunch of younger people now. We're paying attention to this. We have a bunch of people, there's attorneys, there's accountants. We're watching everything. So, a non-vote should not be a vote, regardless of what the law is.
Thank you. Any other questioners? Thank you.
Mark Lindell, 15 Trent Road. What?
Yeah, you'll be the last speaker then. Okay, thank you.
In past meetings, we've talked about the merger, and nothing has been mentioned tonight. I think last meeting, you also said there would be some sort of election in September. Where do we stand? We have a new lawyer on the Woa side. Are they starting to butt heads with the lawyer on the Greenbriar side? Are we just wasting our time and spinning our wheels and wasting money?
We are 99% prepared to roll out to the community the educational process by which we explain what we're planning to do, how we're planning to do it, what the mechanisms are, and what the end result will be. We've written a PowerPoint presentation that describes everything so that we can meet in this room and on Zoom multiple times, so that everybody in the community will have a chance to see what the plan is, ask questions of the board members, and make a determination as if this is something they want to do. The 1% that's missing that we need clarity on has to do with the complicated requirements that this vote calls for. The gentleman earlier talked about he was unhappy with the 10% negative vote process that's called Radburn, which is law of the land in New Jersey. The Radburn approach does not apply to a vote of this magnitude. Exactly what applies is a little unclear to us. We've gotten correspondence from our attorneys laying out how this is to be done, what sort of a quorum requirement there is, and how many people have to vote to approve it. It's not a 50, it may not be a 50% plus one sort of majority vote. Go ahead, Mark. You want to ask?
Yeah, let's stop doing correspondence. Let's get the lawyers in a room with both boards and get it done in an hour or two, and let's get it done.
That's where we're at. We corresponded with the lawyers today.
No correspondence.
Mark,
Get 'em
let
in
me
a room.
finish. We corresponded with the lawyers today and asked them to give us 4 dates next week. We're waiting to hear. I think Jay said he heard from the other attorney. The board and the 2 attorneys are prepared to meet next week and nail down exactly what the vote requirements are for this thing. It is more complicated than we would have expected. It also varies. There are underlying corporate entities here, Greenbriar being one, Whittingham Community One, what do they call it? Community One? Condo Two, there's Wawa, there's multiple
64 houses that are
underpinnings.
only going to be allowed to vote under WOA and not as a condo.
Right. There are four corporate entities that make up the underpinnings of our community, and some of them have different vote requirements. Some of them call for 50%, some of them call for 2/3, some of them call for this kind of quorum, that kind of quorum, and we need to know from the attorneys clearly. And so we've gotten feedback from them, but I feel snowed by what I've read. Others here have felt the same way. So we're planning next week to bring them in a room, not on Zoom, in the place and nail it down. Once we know for that certain, we're prepared to then roll out the educational process, show the community what the new process is going to look like, how the board's going to be made up, how it's going to be manned or peopled, however you want to say it. But we are very close, but this little fly in the ointment, and it's a serious fly, obviously.
Why wasn't it brought up and why did I have to bring it up? Thank you.
I thought about discussing it here, but I thought I'd wait till we had the final answer.
All right, being he's the last speaker, is there anything else any on the board? No, hold on, we'll get there. Joe.
I just asked about that, but I have a question from someone that was going to be on Zoom. Okay, the question was about the portal. Are we going to move to have one telephone directory? Because right now, it seems to be split. If I'm on the Greenbriar portal as a resident, I have a telephone directory. And my friend Deb Habatkin is at Whittingham condo, and they don't have it. So are we working towards getting one master directory for telephone numbers?
We're going to have one directory that will cover everybody. We're working on it right now to get the format set up.
Thanks, Jay.
So it's going to be one directory, the way it had been in the past.
Thank you, Jay.
But we want to make some corrections to the way it was. It wasn't alphabetized right, the names weren't right, so that's what we're working on to get that corrected. And
Okay.
it'll have a map
And
in it.
I just want to add that before Matt left on vacation, and he hasn't had a chance until he returns, we asked Matt, our general manager, to upload the existing directory onto the portal so that everyone has access to it. We are, as Jay just indicated, we're making adjustments, we're adding, we're updating for those new residents, the exact same list. And then at that point, that one will be uploaded to the portal, everyone's portal.
Okay, and there's also another thing. If you go onto the residence portal, it says, forms and documents, and you click on it, then you have to click on all documents, and then the bar comes across the top that says directory. That needs to be put on the first page.
Okay.
So, okay.
All right,
That's it.
and perhaps management can somehow get a tutorial together on the new portal, how residents can use it and understand it. Maybe that would be helpful. All right, do we have any questions from Zoom, Susie? I can't see.
No, we don't have any questions on Zoom.
All right, no question from Zoom. Okay, so, I'll take a motion to adjourn by Jay. Do I have a second? From Joe, second? All right. Okay, we're done. Thank you all for coming.